Shame. It's a heavy emotion, one that a lot of us carry around, one that was given to us by our childhood, whether consciously or subconsciously from our parents. It's just another way that parents need a tool to kind of help them understand their own children, um, who they are, how they behave, and how do we get the behaviors that we want to help them become protective adults without harming them at their base level, which is never easy. Welcome to another episode of On Parenting in the area of emotional safety, creating a safe space to feel, rewriting the shame script. So, shame is something almost all of us have carried, often without realizing it. It's that quiet voice that says, I'm bad, instead of, I made a mistake. When children grow up feeling shamed for their emotions, their behavior, or simply for being who they are, they learn to hide. Not because they're disobedient, but because they want to stay loved. So if you think about your own child, or maybe your childhood, where maybe you had some ADHD, maybe it was more severe than others can have it. Maybe you were just a bit different, maybe a bit more awkward, maybe some anxiety when it comes to social settings. And then as parents, we see our children and we want the best for them. But sometimes we don't have the correct tools. And so sometimes what we end up saying to them is really a lot more harmful than it is beneficial. And so they do end up learning how to hide who they truly are because they want to make us proud. They want to have other kids like them. And we just really need to understand that we need to support base level of our personalities. And then how can we just help kids have healthy boundaries and live healthy lives and become independent without the shame? So here's the truth. You can love your child and break the shame cycle. You can teach accountability without humiliation, correction without disconnection, and boundaries without breaking their spirit. Today we're exploring how to rewrite the shame script, the one most of us inherited, into something that builds confidence, compassion, and emotional safety. So understanding the language of shame. Shame often hides in the everyday language of parenting. It can sound like, you should know better. Stop crying. You're fine. Why can't you be more like your sister? It's not said with cruelty. It's said out of habit, stress, or fear that our child's behavior means something about us. But shame sends one powerful message. You're only lovable when you're good. When a child internalizes that message, they stop bringing their real self forward. They learn to hide the parts that get them into trouble, and slowly the relationship becomes about performance, not connection. So we can start shifting this by changing our language from what's wrong with you to what happened for you. That single change transforms judgment into curiosity, and that's where emotional safety begins. So connection before correction. Children need boundaries, but boundaries work best when they're built on connection. When a child misbehaves, it's easy to lead with correction. Stop that. Go to your room. That's not okay. But when we connect first by naming what they're feeling, we open the door to empathy and understanding. Your child hits their sibling. Instead of, you're being mean, try, you're really angry right now. But hitting isn't how we handle that. See the difference? One response attacks identity, and the other teaches skill. Connection before correction helps your child separate who they are from what they did. And that separation is everything. It's the foundation of self-worth. And we do need to understand that our children's frontal lobe is not developed till they're in their mid-20s. And of course, the older they get, the more we do expect certain behaviors to change. But we often have to keep that in mind. So when we connect first and we do understand what emotion they have, or we become curious because maybe we don't understand, we maybe learn a little of something about our children or help them to understand what emotion they're having and how it's okay, like it said, to be angry, or it's okay to be sad or really happy, things like that. It's okay to have an intense emotion. What isn't okay is if we hit our sibling, right? If we draw on the walls, things like this, where we teach them emotion is okay. Some behavior choices do need to change, and we do this in a healthy way to teach our children, again, how to be healthy. So practice this. Next time you correct your child, start by naming the feeling you see before naming the boundary you're setting. So healing from your own shame stories. How important is it? I said this in a few videos, where we have to start healing from our own past in order to be a better parent for our children now. Also, we need to not overcompensate. So if we lack something in our childhood, we need to not overdo it for our own children so that they don't have what we had, especially if what we had was chaotic or traumatic or we felt unloved at all. Because then by overcompensating, we're helping our children develop different unhealthy behaviors instead of helping them to develop healthy behaviors. And that truly is by disconnecting and trying to use more better health parenting tools that we could have used in our own childhood. So here's the deeper work, the part most parents never talk about. It's to stop passing down shame. We have to look at where it lives in us. Think back. What did you learn about mistakes growing up? Were you comforted, corrected, or criticized? What did you feel like when you failed or fell short? Most of us learn love was earned through behavior, through being good, quiet, helpful, or successful. But when you become aware of that, you get to change the script. You get to show your child that love isn't conditional. You can say, I'm not proud of what you did, but I will always love who you are. That's the sentence that reprograms generations. So remember, you don't have to be a perfect parent to heal shame. You just have to be a conscious one. And that can be difficult, again, when we're stressed, when our energy is tapped out, all those things. And we may honestly have to pause, breathe, or take a break ourselves before we can come back and be the parent who we need to be. So every parent makes mistakes. What matters most is how we repair, how we come back with empathy, accountability, and love. This week, try this practice. When your child misbehaves or shows big emotion, pause before reacting and silently remind yourself, my goal is to teach, not to shame. And here's some journal reflection stuff. What phrases or reactions do I want to retire, and what new words will I use instead? And how did shame show up in my own childhood? And how can I give my child a different experience? Next week, we'll explore big emotions, small bodies, how to understand and support your child's emotional regulation in real time. Until then, remember, love corrects with kindness, boundaries can be firm and gentle, and safety grows when shame ends. Here's the comment section. Comment anything on this video, anything about parenting, or anything about, parenting, like we're having a hard time, or any wins. And if you're having a hard time on finding what to comment on, let's use one of these questions right here. How did shame show up in your own childhood? And how is that affecting your relationship with your children today? If this video resonated with you at all, take a minute, take a breath before you go, let what you heard settle in. You're not alone on this journey, and you never have to do it all at once. If you're feeling it, give this video a like so that others can find it. Share it with somebody who you think may benefit from it, and subscribe for new content every week and every day. And remember, here we take tiny steps, real talk, honest healing. I've created some journals. The link is in the post where you can go, and really they just go hand in hand, where we're going to hopefully increase healthy behaviors, maybe become aware of some stuff that we weren't aware of, and decrease any unhealthy behaviors. And then there's a children's workbook and children's book that will hopefully help your own kids become aware of what's inside of them and how they can work towards a better version of themselves. And once again, I just like to say thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.